255 Northern Cal, 791 Gulf Islands, North Pacific. .255 station Northern Cal, 791 in the North Pacific. 791 QSX.
791 225.
Yeah, 225. 225. You're sounding good, man. Q5 up here on the Gulf Islands, North Pacific.
Roger, where exactly are you located up there?
We're on the southern Gulf Islands off the far southwest coast of British Columbia, Canada, off the Pacific coast.
Oh, Roger. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I kind of been playing around with the beam. I had it going exactly the wrong direction on you there. I was getting you off the back. Yeah, sounded good down here. I got you 7 by 9. Sounded real good.
Yeah, you as well, man. Our island is about 90 miles north of Seattle. As the crow flies, we can see into Washington State, San Juan Islands from our island.
QSL. Well, that might be as close as you want to get to Washington State anymore. They got a lot of problems up there.
I've heard. We have our problems too.
Well, I guess they're everywhere, aren't they?
Yeah, I think it's a worldwide problem. That's the problem. What part of California are you in? Are you like Eureka, California, or somewhere on the coast?
We're down here in Central Valley near Sacramento.
Oh yeah, I've been down there. Yeah, for sure. Been down there a few times. That's the capital, state capital. Love it down there, man. Sounding good, man.
Capital with dysfunction. Yeah, no, you sound really good. What are you running for equipment up there?
I'm running an RCI 2980 right now, WX, 3-element flat side Yagi Serio, up about 26 foot to the boom. D104 Lollipop and pushing about 200 horsepower through it.
Oh, QSL. So you're out there on the islands. What do you do for a living out there?
I'm retired, man. I retired 4 years ago when I was 57, so 61 now. But I did take on a part-time job. I was a parks department. I worked parks department for years there, good government job, and retired, got my pension, and now I just kind of do gardening on the side.
Oh, QSL. Yeah, I also worked for Big Brother down here, and I got out at 59, which was 14 years ago, which I cannot believe where that's gone.
Time goes fast, doesn't it? I find as we get older, it's like, holy crap, I got a birthday coming already. Where did that come from?
Yeah, it really, and we've always heard this, it really speeds up. And it's something that when you retire, it seems like it goes even faster. I'm not sure why that is. I mean, I've always been busy. I've never had a day when I didn't have anything to do or I've been bored, but man, it flies.
It does fly. You know, my wife, I'm 61, my wife turned 65 in December there. And you know, when you get older up here, there are some perks. You know, the only way off of this island is by ferry. And she says, well, from Monday to Friday, I can ride, or Monday to Thursday, she can ride the ferry for free.
There you go. Well, so how large, what kind of population you got out there, being that it's only ferry driven?
Yeah, there's the population on our island is about 10,500, I'm guessing. The island is 16.7 miles long. I'm on the very northern point. So my island is Salt Spring Island, okay? Like table salt and bouncy spring. Salt Spring Island.
Oh, QSL. Now, being that you're up there in that part of the country and you're out there in that part of the Pacific, do you get whacked pretty good by the Pacific storm track, or does it kind of go around you there?
Pretty much goes around us. The winters here are mild and wet. Snowless winters are very common. If we do get snow, it never lasts long. It's completely different than the mainland out here on the islands, that's for sure. We're in a rain shadow too, so we get about half the rainfall of Vancouver.
Yeah, QSL, I know there's some spots up there like a little weather net since, well, I would always tell people I was interested in weather before the girls on TV had double D's doing it. But for a long time, since I was in grade school, I've been fascinated with weather. And I know that there are some real microclimates up there. That's why I asked about that. I know it can vary quite a bit in just a few miles.
Absolutely. Yeah, I have two Stevenson screens set up because I'm a weather observer as well with Oregon Scientific. I should be running Davis Instruments, but I run Oregon Scientific. And, you know, for years, for like 30 years, I did daily data. And I never did it for Environment Canada. I did it for my own personal, right? So, yeah, I'm a weather nut, too. I love it. So I got a screen down on the lower part of our property and a Stevenson screen on the upper part of the property. You know, even 200 feet away, the temperatures can vary.
Thank you. So, yeah, I've got And that Davis has been up on that roof, and free. But outside of that, everything still runs, still works. I used to have a GVAR system before the internet had all the satellite information. I used to get my stuff directly off the GOES weather satellites. It goes east, goes west. Lightning detection system. Geez, what else can I get into? Pretty eccentric for me. Of course, now it's all available online.
That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. Another weather buff. I like that, man. Well, what I can tell you, the lowest temperature at this end of the island on record is about 11 degrees Fahrenheit. About 11 degrees Fahrenheit. And coldest temperature recorded in our main village, it was 5 degrees Fahrenheit. That was a long, long time ago.
QSL. Well, the coolest thing out of all that was the GVAR system. I had that back in the 90s. And I'd get home from work and it would loop. So in GVAR, they come down every 15 minutes. And I'd get home and it would have a loop up of like the last 6 hours. And then they had what they call super scan, and I'd watch GOES east on those big hurricanes on the East Coast, and that hurricane eye on my screen would probably be about 3 or 4 inches around. And you could just see it, every 25 or every 15 minutes, it would just turn. It was just like a clock. I mean, it was really something. It was really cool. But then as the internet started to evolve and become better equipped, the support for that finally died out. I still have a 12-foot dish out there on the side of the property, but it's defunct now. But it was cool. They used to do what they call super scan. Super scan, boy, I'll tell you, you could see stuff really small. It was really something. It was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. That sounds high tech, man. I love it. And you know, we do get some Pacific storms here, remnants of kind of typhoons that have gone into the South Pacific. The last one we had was December, I think it was around December 20th, 2018, man. And I've never seen so much damage, man, on our island from the wind. 38 houses had trees on them. The power was out for 4 days. And the worst storm since the Columbus Day storm that hit in 1962, October. That hammered the coast all the way up from Oregon to British Columbia.
Okay, so they just had a little micro thing up at Lake Tahoe. I think it was 2 weekends ago now. 8 people drowned. The executive from DoorDash was one of them. So they had a thunderstorm come across from the north across the lake. It was 54 degrees. 45 minutes later, it was 32 degrees with winds 45 to 50 miles an hour. Turned this big boat over. 8 out of the 10 people drowned. I saw pictures. You could find it if you did a search on the newsreels. Lake Tahoe looked like the Pacific Ocean during a heavy storm. The cloud deck was almost right on the lake. And I'm telling you what, man, it was just a mess.
That is insane. I never heard of it. I'm going to have to look that up, man. That's probably pretty rare occurrence for sure.
Well, the thing with the Sierras, you're up there 5, 6, 7,000 feet, and we've had a very unusual spring here. We have not had a lot of heat, and we've had a lot of cool weather, and they actually had snow over the top of Highway 80, which for the end of June, I mean, I've seen it, but only very, very, very few times. Very rare event, but that event on the lake was really something. I mean, it just goes to show you. And of course, when you're up in essentially Alpine Lake there, just about anything can happen at any time. You can't take the weather for granted up there.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Never take it. Never take Mother Nature for granted, man. When I witnessed that storm here, man, I shot YouTube videos of it. I've never seen anything like it. My mom and dad used to tell me about the Columbus Day storm, or Typhoon Frida, we called it here on the Pacific Coast. Early October 1962, caused a lot of damage, and there's actually Super 8 footage of it that people shot, and you can find it on YouTube. We called it Typhoon Frida here, but in the coast of Washington, Oregon, they called it the Columbus Day Storm of 62.
That must have been one that came off the Asian coast, because they will come up the coast of Asia and loop back over the top of high pressure, usually into the Gulf of Alaska or where you're at. That wouldn't have been one out of Baja. That must have been an Asian one that came across the Pacific. Is that correct?
I believe it was, and the damage was unreal. You know, I was born in 1964, so it's 2 years before I was born. But I remember my dad was telling me when I was a little kid, he says, you hadn't seen wind like that wind. It said it blew part of the roof off their house, flipped over small aircraft like Cessnas and stuff at the airport. So much damage, so many trees down in Vancouver along the coast. And I think it was pretty hammered down in on the Oregon coast as well in Washington.
So, we're talking about, I've been one forever, whether or not that is, maybe just nuts. I was in 4th and 5th grade. I used to call the U.S. Weather Bureau here in Sacramento and challenge their forecast. They actually answered the phone back then, and I would challenge the forecast. And at one point, one guy goes, "Who are you?" Because I call regularly, and they would at least take the time to listen to me. But that shows you how far back it goes for me.
That's awesome, man. I love it. Yeah, mine started probably about 40 years ago. So I just kind of got obsessed with it. But I love it, man. Weather is very interesting. The weather here is pretty boring on our island. Winters are usually cloudy and wet with a little bit of snowfall, but not often. And summers are warm and dry.
Oh, cute. So, kind of Mediterranean. You want to have boring weather, you come down here. My wife used to always say when she first met me, she grew up over in Europe. She said, I can't understand your fascination with weather because you don't have any here.
When I get a lightning storm, I get so excited because it's rare to get lightning and thunder. I'm out there shooting a YouTube video of it because I love thunder and lightning. I just don't like that it could start a fire out there, but it's rare that we get that here. How about you?
Same thing here. Now, if you get up in the Sierras where I was talking about Tahoe in the summertime, depending on the year, it's a decent month. Flow coming up out of the southwest. They'll get thunderstorms up there. And occasionally, once in a great while here, we did have an event here this fall in September where out of nowhere we had some good thunderstorms. Very unusual that time of year for us to have them. Really unusual any time of the year here. But one of the operators I know up there north of me, about 6 or 8 miles, he actually got his radio fried by him.
I wonder about that sometimes. I actually unplugged my coax because I've heard of that happening. I thought it was just a myth.
QSL, I think you're starting to drop. Hey, it's been a pleasure talking with you. It's interesting how many people in radio are interested in weather. There's actually quite a few of them. There seems to be a connection there. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but sometime, I was going to say, you're like me, having a lightning detection system there would be pretty boring, but I want to see those gusts, lots of times so I can watch those storms. It will plot them, show the direction of their traveling, show if it's down strikes or cloud to cloud. That's kind of fun to watch, but all right, man, I'm going to send you 73s up there on the island before the ferry leaves. I don't want you to miss it. And Operator Larry 225 down here in Northern Cal will be standing by your phone.
Thanks a lot there, Larry. Yeah, it's starting to drop out of there. 225 near Sacramento. Have a good one, brother. Enjoy the QSO. You got Joe on this side, Julie at Oscar Echo out here on the southern Gulf Islands, North Pacific off the far Pacific coast of British Columbia. Hey, we'll be listening for you again, Larry. 225 791 QSX.
Roger, buddy. Yeah, good QSO. Bye-bye.
Take care. Good sounding stations coming out of California. Wow. I wasn't expecting that.